Good morning, Zio here. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel or followed it, you should go ahead and do so now. Like the video if you like it at the end, and dislike it if you dislike it, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about all this, because I'm always interested to know what you think. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about Kotaku and the changing tides, if you will, that seem to be happening. We saw it coming. We talked about it a while back when we talked about Deadspin and Geo and Kotaku, and we've talked about this before, right? Let's just go ahead and say that. And it looks like it's starting to happen. So, grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? Yeah, Kotaku's editor-in-chief, Stephen Totelo, has resigned after years of working at Kotaku. Wow, I had an issue saying that. Oh gosh. Anyway, yeah. So this is what's happening. He tweeted out that he'd simply be a reader at Kotaku, like so many of you. And why do I say the changing tides? There's changing tides. Well, a while ago, Geo had essentially bought this stuff, right? They owned all this stuff, and they went around and pretty much started with Deadspin and was like, stick to sports. We talked about this, right? Because there's a problem when it comes to games journalism and such. Unlike here, where I try my hardest to cut through all the BS to just bring you the facts of what's going on and then my opinion while doing so. They like to just stuff things full of unnecessary things, whether they're equating something to Trump supporters or they're equating things to the alt-right or the dreaded Gamergate or something else. Usually it's a political thing they're equating it to because they have to add their politics into everything they do. And it's one of those things that kind of boggles the mind if you don't know what's going on. Say you go to a site like Kotaku, for instance, and you start reading a review on, I don't know, the PS5, and you get down there, which this one is not as egregious as other reviews and stuff that they've done out there, where they've do an introductory paragraph, the next 7 paragraphs are, completely political something another, usually leaning in one direction other instead of another, and then concluding with, and that's why we have blah, 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 defeat whatever. Anyway, so this one was not as egregious, but I think everybody did go around talking about it at one point in time. But, because this is all towards the bottom. But, say you went to Kotaku and you went for a PS5 review, which is what we're looking at right now. Okay? And this is a pretty decently long review. Unlike maybe the Xbox review, where we're upset about some kind of phobia of holes. But yeah, you go down here and then you get to this area down here, but does it really matter, right? Like, this entire area doesn't belong on this review at all. That this has nothing to do with really the PlayStation 5, especially starting where I've highlighted. All of this is just talking about Biden winning. Is going to win the election, COVID, evil Gamergator type things and stuff like. Well, not really Gamergate by name, but I'm sure you know what I'm getting at, right? And that's all this entire section is. None of that has anything to do with the PlayStation 5. Right? That's not what you're here for. You're here for a review on the PlayStation 5. Is it good? Is it worthwhile? Is it something you want to have? And they have an issue with it a lot with a ton of their, everything, whether it's a review, this, that, and the other, they always have to interject some kind of politics to it. So when Geo came and said stick to sports, there was an issue. And I'm all for people believing in their rights and sticking up to them. If you stick up for your rights, whether they're good or bad or whether I agree with them or not, I'm still going to pat you on the back and say good job. And that's what a lot of people did. They did quit. They tried to stand together, like, especially over in Kotaku, where they changed their icons on Twitter and stuff to stand in solidarity or whatnot, as dumb as it was. But, when your boss tells you, hey, you write about sports, stick to sports, you write about sports. There is, you don't have a say in it, union or not. It's a sports website, you stick to it. And the same thing with Kotaku. And it's just a matter of time before they come down on Kotaku and tell them to stick to video games or, nerd-esque things and leave the politics at the door and stuff. But essentially, he just goes in and we'll TLDR his entire letter, right? I don't have it completely pulled up here. I've got this here. But, he talks about how he was upset about the dead spin thing, which we've been talking about right now. And, he felt that it was his responsibility at Kotaku to stay strong and blah, 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 this, that, and the other, because, the writing was on the wall. If you want to be political in a gaming site, take it to a political site. It's just going to happen. And then he talked about how there was this old site that pretty much was like a, what was it? Not Gawker. What did everybody move to again? I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, there's a place right now that is just full of that kind of thing where everything leans one way, and if you don't believe in that particular side of things, they'll kick you out of the group kind of deal. And that's all it is. They're trying to find problematic things constantly and stuff. But anyway, it was an older site that was similar to the vein of that, and he did his best to mold Kotaku into that, essentially, is what he goes on about. And yeah, he's leaving. Best of luck to him, I guess. However, it would be nice to see Kotaku, which has been happening over the past couple of years, getting more back into gaming. Because if it wasn't for things like that Deadspin thing that happened, I have this feeling that this entire bottom section here might have been a majority of this review to begin with, and the rest of the review probably wouldn't be there because I've seen it happen in so many different articles in the past. I've talked about them. I've done numerous videos on different things where they've done this, that, and the other, and completely left out, what about the gameplay? Is it any good? The mechanics okay? You've spent 12 paragraphs squilling about how the character you start with is Mel or something, instead of, actually telling me whether or not the game was worth playing, and, yeah, that's probably all I've got on that. So let me know what you think down in the comments below, and best of luck to this guy on his travels. Maybe he'll make something else, and maybe Kotaku might be worth looking at for some gaming news once in a while. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.